Hello, I'm Juan Davies, Chief Creative Officer at KCT and PBS SoCal, and I'm joined by the newsroom of KPCC and LAist on a daily reporter roundup. How is everyone?
Great,
Good,
thanks.
thank you.
And thanks again for joining us, news editor Suzanne Levy.
Nice to see you again.
Emily, many have seen LAPD officers not wearing masks, yet there was a May 14th memo that requires them to wear masks. What's happening?
Right, so that memo required them to wear masks except in situations where the officer's safety might be a factor, where they might not feel safe wearing the mask. And I will say that there was a memo also put out, very similar memo by the sheriff, LA County Sheriff's Department, but people have been posting photos online of officers not wearing masks while out in the field. There's actually a Twitter account called LAPD Unmasked that have been gathering these images. There's a video on there of LAPD Chief Michael Moore not wearing a mask and also shaking hands with protesters in late May. I recently just talked to LAPD about this, and they said that, Chief Michael Moore is going to roll call enforcing, telling people to wear masks. But sometimes there's situations where officers can't wear masks. It might be because they have to communicate with other officers. But as people have shown on social media, there's still a lot of instances where they're just kind of standing around in large groups not wearing masks, which is concerning.
Masks have also become a political issue in Orange County as schools consider reopening. Right, Kyle?
That's right. So the Orange County Department of Education has already issued guidance for schools maybe thinking about reopening in the fall. They say students should be encouraged to wear masks, but the elected Board of Education in Orange County has other ideas. They have put out a statement saying they're going to be issuing guidance that is based on the notion that, quote, requiring students to wear masks in school is not only impossible to implement, but not based on science. Now, I could talk to two public health experts who definitely disagree with this, say that the science is there for wearing masks in school, definitely bothered by the cavalier attitude that the board was taking toward mask use. But they also acknowledge that the American Academy of Pediatrics has issued guidelines that say mask use can't be reasonably expected of all children, and that is no reason for schools to remain closed. So this gets to sort of a debate and fears that parents have about how to reopen schools safely, and it's become a political issue in Orange County.
More people are getting tested for COVID-19, but some labs just aren't returning the results fast enough. Jack is on that one.
Yeah, when you get tested, that swab gets sent to a lab. That's where the actual test is performed. And when the pandemic started, the city and county contracted with outside laboratories to increase capacity. But with the huge number of people getting tested in LA, the labs are really falling behind. That leaves patients in a state of limbo, sometimes for over a week, but it's also greatly affecting contact tracing. That's when health workers talk to people who test positive, find out their close contacts, and then call them to get them to quarantine for 14 days. The whole goal of this is to stop the spread. But with labs taking so long to get the testing done, it's really inhibiting the county's ability to do proper contact tracing. The county says they're working with the labs to make it better, but it's really just another reason why it is so important for you to stay home if you have symptoms and to wear a mask when you're outside.
And lastly, Eric's column this week talks about what happens when women of color go missing.
Yeah, my column this week is about Vanessa Guillen. She's a U.S. soldier who disappeared from Fort Hood on April 22nd. It took 2 months for the investigators to announce that they suspected foul play. On Wednesday, they discovered the remains they believe are hers in a shallow grave. The reason you probably never heard of her is because she's not white, she's Latina, she's a person of color. There's empirical evidence to suggest that women of color get a lot less media coverage, especially when they're the victims and not the perpetrators of crimes. So I'm going to talk about that in my column this week. It's called the Missing White Women Syndrome.
That's such a tragic story, Eric. And yeah, I'm sure there are many, many more stories like that that we just don't know about. Thank you all at the KPCC and LA's newsroom, and thank you for tuning in. Take care of your health, take care of your family, your neighbor, and we will see you on Monday.